This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, sacrificing the patriarchy from a broom closet in the here and the there, offering rememberings in times of chaos, confusion, love, and belonging. As we progress in our Western linear timeline of 2025, and there continues to be an external reality that is difficult to engage. I continue to explore my internal reality and am poking at the power therein as a means to balance and hopefully topple the external reality I'm experiencing. One of the areas in particular that has been coming up because of, probably this point of my life, like where I am in my life cycle, but also, the energy that Earth and the cosmos and what the planets are doing is offering us. I've been thinking about the idea of forgiveness. Now, I've been on an awakening path, like awakening meaning understanding my divinity, my spirituality, my connection to myself, to others, to Earth. I've been on a very intentional path for a few years now, and forgiveness has always come up. Like, and even in, when I say an intentional path, like, years of Jung-based therapy. And I was lucky enough in the last few years to have a really amazing Black woman therapist who, helped me go leaps and bounds. And in terms of my development and my healing, and like healing current wounds and ancestral wounds. And of course, part of that conversation as well has been forgiveness. In those terms, at that time, my focus was more on, forgiving others, forgiving my mother, forgiving my father, forgiving family, forgiving ex-lovers, forgiving the city I live in, forgiving my neighbors, like a lot of external forgiveness. And recently my thoughts when I think about forgiveness, it's like I'm consumed with this idea of forgiving the I, like forgiving myself for all the things that I did not know because I didn't know them, right? And that's there's a quote by Maya Angelou: "Forgive yourself for the things you did not know when you did not know them." I don't know if that's the exact quote, but I don't want to steal her words. But it's very fitting for the moment, I think, for myself, and I would imagine, possibly others who are also in an awakening, whatever that might mean to you. And the depth, like, I've reached a point where I am noticing tender spots, and I think it's really easy in this current chaos and confusion world. It's really easy. Like if one has the intention and interest to pay attention to the places that this paradigm is attempting to numb us, but to not be numb, to pull back the curtain, to really hone in, at least in my experience. Like I keep coming back to the layer beneath blaming others is this deep-seated idea that I did something wrong, that I was not enough, that I should have known better. And when I sit in that and I just forgive myself for it, just have this conversation with myself, there's this really interesting shift in the energy I feel, particularly at my heart chakra and at my solar plexus. And it's powerful. Again, it comes back to, I think the last episode, last numbered episode, I was talking about thought forms. And I think it's similar here. Like, what is the energy of the thought form forgiveness? And what can it offer us? What can it give us? In a world in which it has to be tangible and seen by your physical eyes to be worthy, it's not going to give you anything. But in the world of us brujas, hoodoos, witches, shamans, mystics, like, that which you can't see, we know is really powerful. So what is the power of forgiveness, particularly for ourselves? That gift, what can it offer us in these times of chaos and confusion when so many of us are looking for love and belonging? And the love and belonging is there, right? That's something, it's like I'm seeing, it's never not there. It's a remembering. It's like, it's almost, like it's a battle when being born in a world that you're constantly told you're not loved or you're unlovable and you don't belong, but you actually do and are. It becomes, that's the battle. It's almost like, all these TV shows, Games of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, and even Star Trek, Colonizers, Star Wars, all these shows about these wars, these epic wars. What if they're just depictions of what's happening inside ourselves? And it's like this war between the thought form that says it's just chaos and confusion because you're unlovable and you don't belong, versus the thought form that's like, no, it's actually balance and harmony, and you are loved and you do belong. And it's just this battle back and forth. I see, even my thoughts just went to, like, that sounds crazy. Why are you talking about that, Deidre? That's the, like, I have to catch that of, like, because I want to talk about it, because that's what this is for. Why else ramble into the void of YouTube that, this could be cathartic for me and me alone. But that's the work of hearing that voice and getting underneath it. And the only way that I can do that is forgiving myself for even having that voice. So I want to offer to anyone listening to this the practice of forgiving the self, forgiving the I. Even if you feel like it's just words, I think, like we talked about last episode, thoughts have so much power. So let's create thought forms together of forgiving the I, because we are loved and we do belong. This is Rooted Cosmic Soul, sacrificing the patriarchy from a broom closet. The energy here stays here. The energy there stays there. I'll sense you later. Return when moved to do so. Same Bruja time. Same Bruja channel.